Hi, I'm Chef Whitney Aronoff, and welcome to the High Vibration Living podcast. I have the pleasure of chatting with Christina Rice today. Christina Rice is an intuitive trance channel, founder of Ahai 7D Energy Healing, best-selling author, and your guide to making powerful and practical shifts in your everyday life to move beyond your own limitations and live as your most authentic, abundant self. She has worked with countless CEOs, founders, influencers, and professionals looking to optimize their performance, find full alignment, and create freedom in their lives. Through no BS guidance, Christina helps you access your own inner truth, get out of your own way, and master the energetics of money, health, and relationships so you can create the reality you truly desire. Welcome to the podcast, Christina.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I sound so official.
You
when
do.
have my bio. So
Well, and you focus on teaching people, the skills that everybody really wants to learn that, we just don't grow up learning in school or can necessarily access through books. So
yeah.
I'm really excited to chat with you today because you're the perfect conversation to be having as we move into a new year. I think you and I both know that a great time to make plans and goals for your life is on your birthday. But, we also have this societal New Year's. So we might as well use that to our advantage too.
Oh, totally. I'm big into working with the energy. I plan my whole life around numerology pretty much.
Oh, cool.
So I find that especially like in the new year, you're shifting just the overall energy. So like next year, moving into a year 7. So it will be very inward focused and spiritually activating and all that fun stuff. So it's a great time to kind of recalibrate. I love a new year.
Well, I love that you're into numerology of years and the year that we're in numerology wise and the year that we personally are having numerology wise. And so I was going to ask you about that because I feel like it's something that's happening whether we recognize it or not. So we might as well use it to our advantage or help understand the energy that's going to be out there so we can flow with it instead of try to force things that maybe it's just not the right time.
Oh, totally. Totally. And I know like for me, this last year, I was in a personal year 7. So I felt that like very intimately, and I'm a life path 7. And often, when you're in the personal year, that is your life path, it can feel a little bit more comfortable, but the 7 is notorious. A lot of people don't like the 7 because it's so slow. And I felt that big time with this year. I'm a generator. I'm pretty fast. I'm a cheetah energy. Like I just am very fast paced. And this year it was just not going to be that way. And so I find that sometimes when we know what the energy is like, it's going on astrologically in terms of numerology, it can just help us, I find, accept and surrender into whatever the flow wants to be. And I find that, throughout the year as well, depending on which month it is and what the energy is of the month. And so for me to just understand like, okay, like I'm in my 7 year, it's going to be a really internal process for me. And it's going to be maybe a bit slower externally than I'm used to, because I'm used to just going, from one thing to the next. And I think that is just really helpful to just know that that's what the energy is primed for, instead of beating ourselves up, because I just find that working with cycles is so important, like eating seasonally, planning our routine seasonally. Like I'm a big believer in shifting things up, whatever the season is, right? Whether it's an actual season in terms of the weather, or if it is a season just of your life, of what you're going through personally, or, your astrology, your numerology, whatever it is. I'm a huge believer in just leaning into the energy. We're in winter right now. The way I show up in winter is very different than how I am in the other seasons. And I find that like everything I do is really around optimization. And I find that every area of our lives is very connected, right? Like health, money, career, relationships, spirituality, all of it's connected. And when we find alignment, which a lot of that starts with our daily routines, right? And like how we're showing up within those seasons, everything is faster and more efficient. And I think we could all use some more time. So for me, it's all about like saving time and saving energy, so I can show up fully to the things I want to do.
We are completely on the same page.